Antarctica is bigger than the United States and Mexico combined. 98% of it is buried under ice older than human civilization. In 1946, the United States sent 4,700 soldiers to invade Antarctica. They called it a scientific expedition. 8 weeks later, they retreated, with casualties, and they never said why. What did Admiral Byrd find down there? Why do satellites detect pyramids under the ice? Why does the magnetic field break every law of physics here? For 80 years, every nation on Earth has agreed on one thing: nobody is allowed to dig here. And today, we are going to ask why Antarctica is bigger than the United States and Mexico combined. 98% of it is buried under ice, older than human civilization itself. But it wasn't always frozen. 50 million years ago, this was a rainforest. Palm trees grew here. The last humans could have walked this land 12,000 years ago, before something ended the Ice Age. And here's where it gets strange. In 1513, an Ottoman admiral named Piri Reis drew a map of Antarctica, 300 years before it was officially discovered by anyone alive, and he drew its coastline without ice, accurately, detail by detail. Nobody on Earth should have known this. And that is only the first question Antarctica refuses to answer. 4 kilometers beneath the ice lies Lake Vostok, a body of liquid water the size of Lake Ontario, sealed off from the surface for 15 million years. Whatever lives in it has been evolving alone since before humans existed. In 2012, Russian scientists finally drilled down and pulled up a water sample. What they found in that sample, they refused to publish. They called it unclassified life. A bacteria matching nothing in any database on Earth. Then the lead scientist went missing. The drill site was abandoned within weeks. No Russian team has returned since, and the files were classified. Lake Vostok sits directly above one of the strongest magnetic anomalies ever recorded, 30,000 times stronger than background. Either a massive iron deposit or something we have no name for. NASA admitted it's the size of a city. In 2012, satellite imagery of the Ellsworth Mountains revealed 3 perfect pyramids, arranged almost identically to the plateau of Giza. Geologists call them nunataks, natural rock formations, but no nunatak has 4 symmetrical faces. No known geological process on this planet produces this, unless they weren't built by geology. In 2016, a joint European team tried to reach the largest structure. Their expedition was canceled mid-flight by military order. Any civilian overflight of the region is now prohibited, permanently. The Antarctic Treaty, signed by 54 nations, bans any independent exploration, mining, or scientific drilling without unanimous approval from every country. Why does a frozen wasteland need the most protected legal status on the planet? Unless it isn't a wasteland at all, and somebody already knows it. 1938, Nazi Germany sends a secret expedition to Antarctica. They map 600,000 square kilometers. They drop thousands of metal darts, claiming the land for the Reich. They rename it New Swabia, then silence until the war ends. In 1945, 2 German U-boats surrendered in Argentina, months after the war was officially over. Their cargo holds were empty. Their logs were missing. The captain admitted they had dropped off passengers and cargo at an unknown coastal location, far south. Admiral Donitz had said 2 years earlier, "The German fleet is proud of having built for the Führer in another part of the world an impregnable fortress." A fortress in another part of the world. 1 year later, the United States launched Operation High Jump. 4,700 men, 13 warships, 33 aircraft. Commander, Admiral Richard E. Byrd. The mission was to last 6 months. They came back in 8 weeks, broken with casualties. Byrd said, "We were attacked. Since then, Military planes over Antarctica have reported more unknown aerial objects than anywhere on Earth. In 2006, NASA satellites detected a 320-kilometer-wide impact crater beneath the ice of Wilkes Land, hidden for millions of years. The object that created it was 6 times larger than the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs. It matches the Permian extinction event. In 2018, radar revealed a perfectly rectangular iceberg, 1.6 kilometers long, with corners too sharp to be natural. NASA released a statement, then deleted it, then released it again with different wording twice. An object with the density of solid metal, hundreds of kilometers across.
No folks. No drums.
A meteorite, a ruin, a ship. Gravity mapping by the European Space Agency found a mass beneath East Antarctica, so dense, scientists called it geologically impossible. Nobody is allowed to dig. In 1929, a scholar in Istanbul found the Piri Reis map. He sent it to the U.S. Naval Hydrographic Office. Their verdict, accurate to within half a degree, requires aerial survey technology that did not exist until 1957. Someone mapped Antarctica from the air thousands of years ago. The theory, Earth's crust occasionally shifts. Every tens of thousands of years, entire continents slide over the mantle. Antarctica used to sit 2,000 miles north, meaning 12,000 years ago, Antarctica was warm, livable, and may have been home to a civilization we've completely forgotten. Every culture on Earth has a flood myth. Sumerians, Egyptians, Mayans, Hindus, indigenous Americans, all describing the same event at the same time. A world destroyed by water, survivors scattered, a civilization lost beneath the ice. The geology matches. 12,800 years ago, a comet struck the North American ice sheet. Sea levels spiked, coastlines drowned, and Antarctica froze with whatever was on it. Today, 30 nations operate bases on Antarctica. None will say what they're actually doing. John Kerry flew there, so did Patriarch Kirill. Buzz Aldrin was medically evacuated within 48 hours of arrival. Aldrin tweeted, "We are in danger," then deleted it. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe every anomaly has a boring explanation. Maybe Byrd was mistranslated, Aldrin was delirious, and the pyramids are just rocks. But ask yourself, if there's nothing down there, why the treaty? Why the no-fly zones? Why do expeditions get turned back by military aircraft? Why does every nation on Earth agree, for the first time in human history, to not touch one specific place on the planet? Whatever is under that ice, we will probably find out within our lifetimes, because the ice is melting. And whatever has been waiting down there for 12,000 years will not be waiting much longer. Subscribe. The next file is already open.